It's okay. Off your mind, it's okay. Off your mind,
Chai! Now wow, people wey suppose talk truth to power don't off mic. And if we talk, now 500,000 they go summer us, call them hate speech. But fear not, Maiyegun don't come. Ingo torchlight every corner, nooks and cranny of all these bad people where they spoil our country. So my people make we laugh, yo. Maiyegun don't come, yo. My people make we shout, yo. Maiyegun don't come, yo. Maiyegun don't come, man of the masses, yo. Maiyegun don't come, yo. Politico, Maiyegun don't come, This one not the off in mind. Maiyegun don't come, and in the touchlight every corner. Maiyegun don't come, Okay, some people be they holla say they want the power. Chai, them be promise us say we go get light and power. Them hustle sote they can't get the power. But now they know they do anything with the power. Every day, dollar just they get the higher power over naira. Still them talk say make we off mind. But thank God say Maiyegun don't come. So my people make you ladder, yo. Maiyegun don't come, yo. My people make we shout, yo. Maiyegun don't come, yo. Maiyegun don't come, man of the masses, yo. Maiyegun don't come, yo. Maiyegun Diary Politico, yo. Maiyegun don't come, yo. This one not the off in mind, yo. Maiyegun don't come, yo. Person where they do evil, no one make person talk. Them say that Maiyegun, that man too they talk. He too they talk. Say Maiyegun Diary, he they hot like pepper. But every day, then they take money in bulk. Woman picking, they the street they hawk. Still them talk say, make we no talk. But thank God say, Maiyegun don't come. So my people make you laugh, yo. Maiyegun don't come, yo. My people make you shout, yo. Maiyegun don't come.
Hello there. Thank you so much for joining me once again today, and then share this broadcast. Invite your friends, invite your not so friendly friends, and tell them that Maiyegun today. Latu Haruna, thank you. So from wherever you are joining from, yeah, share this broadcast. Invite your friends, invite your not so friendly friends. Read the caption of the broadcast, read the description as well. Share it, like it, sit back, relax, and then let's, enjoy the session. Thank you. There is so much to share with, to share tonight, or I am going to share tonight. So I'm going to advise once again, if you are just joining us, just before you get fully settled into this, like the broadcast, share it, invite everyone that you think should probably be part of it as well. And after that, we will start in a minute. So tonight we are going to be treating Atiku versus Tinubu, and what are they saying about their different cases there in their tribunal. We know what Lamidi Papa is doing with Obi's petition. He came out today to deny, and he said, no, I haven't withdrawn Obi's petition. So let's move on to Atiku versus Tinubu. I don't know if you have heard it, yeah? I mean, just yesterday we were talking about Atiku and PDP, and we're like, why is it that APC ignored, or they jumped Atiku and they moved on to Obi? Somebody they said came third. Well, it didn't take long. So it all started a week ago when Atiku applied that Kolu's election must be overturned because Kolu has no qualification. Kolu is a criminal. Kolu is a drug dealer. Kolu can be president of Nigeria. That is going to be against the constitution of Nigeria. That was Atiku's stand first. But there were some he didn't really push. So when Tinubu's lawyer replied to Atiku, their response was that, my lord, don't waste your time on Atiku. He is a serial contester. He is a serial loser. He can never win any election. Him coming here to come and challenge election results is just his normal routine. But this time around, don't entertain him. He's a serial loser. I think that got into the wrong side of Atiku this time. And you know what he did? He responded. He said, well, I may be a serial loser. I am drug free. He said, I am drug free. I am not a Ghanaian. And so many other things that I'm going to share with you as well tonight. Meanwhile, Femi Adesina is on the, what you can call on the last laundromat job of Bokwari. I actually want to start from there because today as well, Bokwari was cited in Abuja, where he had done this military regalia, and something that probably just, something he felt like, makes him, make him feel, I don't know, powerful, something like that. A dictator, a dictator extraordinaire. So that's in Abuja. But the guy, the Alagba for Femi Adesina was on a show recently. And I actually want to start from there before we go into the water between Tinubu and then Atiku. It's quite interesting, right? But let's stop in Lagos. Meanwhile, there's also a part tonight as well that what is going on in Sudan, the war in Sudan. Nigeria is so corrupt that rather than those in government in Nigeria to actually work and serve the people, right? Even during emergency, they take advantage of every problem that you might be facing as a country, as a people. And that's exactly what they have done with these guys in Sudan. Stories, cries, complaints, attacks, and so many have now are now trailing the $1.2 million. Do you know that? Nigeria is paying $1.2 million to evacuate 1.5 million, 1,500 Nigerians from Sudan. And they are going to have shattered 40 buses. 40 buses that will travel for 2 days and 4 hours between Sudan and Egypt. The $1.2 million seems to have entered some level of, voicemail or delaying to the point that those who are running away from the war ended up being trapped in the Sahara deserts. That was what the war today was all about, between Abike Dabiri as well as the Nigerians trapped in Sudan. But let's first hear from Femi Adesina, the Alagbafo of 8 years for Buhari. He is here to tell you, whatever you think about Nigeria, whatever you think or whatever you are saying, or whatever Nigeria is right now, wherever Nigeria is right now, that 40 to 50% of them are currently unemployed. And then you have over 140 million Nigerians living in poverty. Now that Buhari that inherited Boko Haram is now going to leave you with Boko Haram, ISWAP 1, ISWAP 2, Fulani terrorists, bandits, and so many other terrorists that have now kind of settled down in Nigeria in 8 years. All of those are just figment of your imagination. They are just your way of not liking Buhari. And that's exactly what Femi Adesina is explaining here. Inflation at over 50%, but officially they said inflation is at 22%. To Femi Adesina, one day una go enjoy the sacrifice that Buhari made. Let's start from there quickly.
I'll be shocked. Not just a lot of people and our viewers will be shocked if you came here and said in any way that the administration has failed. Okay. But of course, you're putting it out there that you've done something. We're not where we were, yes. But we're not where we should be.
Good. Now the question is, how many countries of the world are where they want to be? Not many. Not many. Look at what inflation is doing around the world now. Next door, neighbor Ghana. The last I saw, the inflation rate was 58%. Nigeria hit just about 22%. Well, I wouldn't say about, because that is bad enough. But Ghana is at 58. Other countries are higher. The United Kingdom has not had the level of inflation it has had in the past 40 years. It's all over the world. So no country of the world is where it wants to be.
You know, let me read, I want to read this, a portion of the manifesto that your principal came into office with. Urgently address capacity building of law enforcement agents in terms of quantity and quality, as this is critical in safeguarding the sanctity of lives and property. Establish a well-trained, adequately equipped and goals-driven serious crime squad to combat terrorism, kidnapping, armed robbery, militancy, ethno-religious and communal clashes nationwide. This is part of the manifesto that your principal came into office with. And in all of this, you say we're not where we were. But this is what you promised. Would you say this has been addressed?
You in that area, let me tell you the latest facts. When this administration came, Nigerian armed forces were rated 7th in Africa. 7th in terms of combat readiness, equipment, and all that. Do you know what figure we are now? 4th in Africa. 4th. Because the president has spent a lot in equipping the military, training them, boosting their morale. Our Air Force was virtually wingless as of 2015. They had 4 or 5 serviceable aircraft. Do you know how many scores of aircraft we have today, including Super Tucano and all the sophisticated ones in the world? So, in terms of arming our military, the administration has done so well. And if it didn't do that, by now, Nigeria will have been overrun by so many challenges: terrorism, insurgency, banditry, and all that. Nigeria will have been overrun. The new government will not have to equip the military the same way again, because it has been done.
Let me interrupt you here. You know, when this administration came in, we had insurgency in the Northeast. But between that time and now, we've had insecurity spread across the Middle Belt and towards the South. We have some communities that have been sacked in the Middle Belt, in Nasarawa, in Benue. And you say that this administration has done well in terms of security.
Yes, it has done well, because it could have been worse.
Oh, it could.
Oh, yes, it definitely would have been worse. Look at this scenario. As of 2015, how many times did bombs go off in Abuja? Daily. Daily. Could you go to church without being frisked or sacked? Could you go to recreation places without bomb detectors being used on you? In fact, the recreation places were empty. And that was like all over the country. You saw the last Salah just about a week ago. You saw Doba, you saw horse riding, you saw gaiety, all over, including in Bono. Was that possible as at 2015? It was not. So there is a lot of improvement, marked improvement. I'm not saying further challenges didn't come up. They came up. As at 2015, the major challenge facing the country was insurgency. Banditry was strange. But later, the challenges became variegated, and banditry was one of the things that came in. Among the same people, the Northwest people, they have a common language, they have a common culture, they have a common trade, they are like cattle rearers. They began to steal one another's cattle, they began to kill one another, all sorts of things. So it was another challenge. And of course, you know that kidnapping for ransom also joined it. You know that cult killings joined it. You know that other ethnic clashes came up. You had people who began to agitate for all sorts of referendum and all sorts of breakaway from the federation. So when challenges multiply in a country, it is the duty of government to also rise up to those challenges. And I think by and large...
So did government rise up to come in? Because yes, we focus so much on security, with the areas of education, job creation that you talked about, the improvement of the economy, but it looks as if it even got worse under this administration.
Let's talk about that. The economy that the Buhari administration met was one solely dependent on import. We import everything: toothpicks, wine, beans from Burkina Faso, rice from Thailand, everywhere. We were spending millions of dollars on importation that we couldn't afford. Money that could have been deployed towards more productive areas of the economy. Today, what do we import? Particularly in terms of rice, in terms of maize, in terms of beans, almost all grains are produced locally. All those wastage on toothpicks and wine and all that. There was this list, was it 31 items that Central Bank released then that wouldn't be.
Okay, let me save you the anger, because you are still going to get angry. So I don't want you to waste all of the anger that you have in you tonight. I don't want you to waste them on Femi Adesina. You see, people like that are many in Nigeria. They are in their own world. And let me tell you this. You can't go into their world and say you want to try to convince them and change them. You can't wake somebody that is pretending to be sleeping. You know, if somebody is sleeping now, when you tap them, they will move and they will like wake up. But when you tap somebody that is pretending to be sleeping, you can tap them, you can kick them, you can do all of that. They will still be like, what kind of sleep is this? Because they are not sleeping. They are pretending. So for 8 years, the likes of Femi Adesina was like a role model, okay, to the likes of the moguls that look up to somebody like that. Well, his job is to whitewash the criminal government that he is part of. And all he has to do is just to keep giving you comparison. Even when the obvious facts are staring him on the face, he will deviate it. It will get to a point where it's going to start sounding like, you will think, does this guy think I'm actually a fool the way he's talking? And that's why I said that you cannot be politically correct when you are hammering the truth, including when those who want to take you into a world of, okay, maybe I should just come to their level so that I can explain it to them. No, don't try it. They know what they are doing. Sure you get? So, Femi Adesina and his likes, they are doing the last whitewash. And I told my friends on TikTok earlier, I said, the reason why I don't subscribe to the idea of political correctness, you don't want to offend people, You don't want to say things that will get some people feel like a put off and all that. Like you don't want to offend people generally. Therefore, you begin to start. You start, pretending, or should I say, try to become a politically correct. Now, the problem is this: these pretenders, this bunch of criminals, right? If you try, for example, to be politically correct with them, they will suck you in, and because in that slavish mentality, selfish, corrupt mentality of theirs, they will then beat you with experience. That's why they said, don't try to, fight a fool. If you fight a fool, well, what happens is, or let's say, if you fight a pig in the dirt, what happens is that they will drag you down to their level, and then they will defeat you with experience. You are not a fool. And then you should never play fool of anyone. So we'll continue to hammer it. I said the only reality to Nigerians generally, things are not happening if it is not happening to them. If it hasn't happened to them directly, then it is not happening. Okay? So when Nigeria finally happened to them, right, they are the loudest. They are those who are the most emotional, because to them, how could this happen to them in Nigeria? But if it's happening to others, it's just been exaggerated. Now, that's Femi Adesina. And in another few weeks, you probably won't hear about him anymore. You have another clown who are going to be busy entertaining you. And I think in one of them today in Abuja, where Buhari decided to gab, sorry guys if you can see the screen, so he garbed himself in this military attire. Look at him, the lifeless mannequin. So, well, he was there, and they also they were doing something as called the decoration of soldiers or whatever, I don't know. So, and there was a march. So I had that before we go into our political convo this evening. Watch this.
As we can see, ladies and gentlemen, the pipers flanking.
Why these journalists like this now?
We welcome His Excellency Muhammadu Buhari, Grand Commander of the Federal Republic, President, Commander-in-Chief of the Armed Forces, Sina State. He had his early education in Katsina before joining Britain, India, and the United States of America. In the course of his military, was Chairman Nigerian National Petroleum Corporation in 1978, and became the activities on the playground as they unfold, the special guest of honor and reviewing officer, His Excellency President Muhammadu Buhari, fully dressed and adorned.
To know that there are 81 units that will be issued new unit colors in today's ceremony.
Filled by Moonlight. Filled by Moonlight is the fourth tune from the popular Nigerian television authority from my Talking Service program.
It is also expedient to state here that it is the primary function of regimental sergeant majors to assist the unit commanding officers to maintain military disciplines, ethics.
Chaque unité a deux représentants qui sont l'enseigne au drapeau national et l'enseigne au drapeau régimentaire de l'unité.
Le président des chefs d'État ou les monarques mais évidemment parce que le Nigeria n'avait pas atteint son statut souverain en 1956, la reine Elisabeth II, donc de la reine, le deuxième régiment nigérien de la reine, ainsi que le troisième régiment nigérien de la reine, jusqu'à
After placing the brand new unit regimental colors on the drum, he will return to receive the brand new.
Il passe maintenant pour le soir le nouveau couleur nationaux pour placer sur le drapeau du
Le drapeau, le paix, la paix in Nigeria. French is now part of Nigeria language, isn't it? I thought English is official. And then others. Abi? Which one is La Paix, Le Grodor, Abi Le Grodas or something? Nigeria is unraveling. Are you with me? Anyway, from what we have. So let's start this Atiku, Tifnumbu, Basbus. Okay? But getting into that, I think it's ideal that we sort of identify the judges that are going to be listed, to be looking into the petitions of Obi versus Tinubu, Atiku versus Tinubu versus INEC, Obi versus Tinubu versus INEC. Who are the judges? What are their profiles? So again, my friends on TikTok, you won't be able to see them, but they are online. You can indeed search for them. So these are the Court of Appeal justices or judges that are going to determine whether all the evidence that they have against Kolu, all the evidence they have against INEC, if they are going to fly or not. So if you don't mind, I'm going to kind of give you their background, okay? So the lady justice among them, her name is Monica Bonan Dongban Mensem. Justice Monica Bonan Dongban Mensem. That's her name. So she's the Court of Appeal president. Yeah. And from her track, they said she's an authority in criminal and civil procedure law, legislative drafting, constitutional and administrative law, among others. So among the cases that she's been sort of known for, they call them high-profile cases. So they said she presided over, former chairman of Federal House of Representatives Adult Committee on Fuel Subsidy, Farouk Lawan. You remember Farouk Lawan, yeah? So they said Lawan was sentenced to 7 years imprisonment in June 2021 by FCT High Court, having found him guilty of bribery in 2012. So following a 3-count charge filed against him by the ICPC. So he appealed. When Lawan appealed, Justice Monica was the one who now gave her own verdict. In its verdict, a 3-member panel by Appeal Court President Monica, Dongban Mensem, said the ICPC did not prove its allegations in count 1 and 2, which bordered on how Lawan allegedly demanded $3 million from business mogul Femi Adesina to remove his company from the list of defaulters in the fuel subsidy scam, remember? So she said the ICPC didn't prove their case in count 1 and 2. However, she went on to rule that, where's that ruling? She was like, where is that? Give me a sec, yeah. She eventually convicted Lawan of that same money, of that same bribery, she convicted him to 5 years imprisonment. So she reduced his jail from 7 years to 5 years imprisonment. That's her record. Meanwhile, others, right? Somebody said, checks by the Whistler showed that aside from Justice Ekek, the 5-man panel of justices that presided over the 2019 presidential election petitions have all left the Court of Appeal, except Justice Peter Ige. Now, that's another justice who is part of them, Ige. So that one is part of the last appeal court justices who listened to the petition of Atiku against Buhari in 2019. The rest of them are gone, except for him, Ige. Now, they said since the tribunal has 180 days, hang on, I haven't even told you about others. Okay. There's also Justice Aruno Simon Samani. So, Aruno Samani, Justice Samani, 64 years old justice from Bauchi State, right? They said that, he granted, meanwhile, okay. So, he is the justice of the Court of Appeal that granted Peter Obi and Atiku their prayers when INEC was playing them hide and seek on inspecting the election materials that they used in the election, right? It was this Justice Aruno that gave that judgment that they must be allowed to see them. And when INEC was also dodging them, it was the same justice who also gave an order that INEC should be served, substitute serving or so whatever. Yeah, that is, if INEC is not going to receive the court judgment themselves, they can serve them through a third party until they obey the court order. So that's the justice. Now, meanwhile, they said Tsunami has presided over various election and financial matters as a judge. One of those cases is a petition filed by the former governor of Oyo State, Abiola Ajimobi, challenging the judgment of the 2019 Election Petition Tribunal, which had, on November 19, same year, upheld PDP's Kola Balogun's as winner. Remember, so it was this judge. They said Balogun was said to have pulled the star, and then Ajimobi based his petition on the allegation that his PDP counterpart was not qualified to represent his party at the election. So Justice Aruno, who prepared the lead judgment, dismissed Ajimobi's petition for lacking in merit, holding that a person who was not part of a political party has no right to challenge the outcome of his primary election. So does that tell you something? That Ajimobi versus the PDP candidate at the time, even though Ajimobi went on to win at the at the Supreme Court. So he said this justice was one of them who told Ajimobi then that it's none of your business whoever PDP nominated as their candidate, because you are a member of another party. So it's none of your business whatever they did with their party and their candidates. So that's the justice. So look out for him. There's another one called Justice Stephen Jonah Hada. Now, Jonah Hada is also one of the appeal court justices that granted Obi and Atiku's request in this past few days or weeks against INEC, also against Tifnumbu, when Tifnumbu lawyers were dodging the petition of Obi and Atiku. So was this judge too? Anyway, so they said that Ada has passed verdict on several cases, and one of his landmark decision was in the appeal filed by the EFCC against Goodluck Jonathan's cousin, Robert Azibaola. That's his name. So Jonathan's cousin was accused of stealing $40 million. So $40 million, and then EFCC took him to court, and the court, right, ruled in the favor of Jonathan's cousin. So EFCC appealed. So when they went to the appeal court, it was this Justice Stephen Jonah that presided over that case. And they call it landmark because he told EFCC that they couldn't prove anything. All the allegations, all the count charges against Jonathan's cousin, and therefore he was discharged and acquitted. So Jonathan's cousin was one of those that were being like paraded for looting Nigeria money when Dasuki case. You remember that Dasuki Gate. So those who were sharing money, those who collected money from Diezani, millions of dollars hotel, this. So Jonathan's cousin was one of them, and he won because that justice said EFCC couldn't prove anything. Everything they said were just on the media, whatever. So another one of them is Justice Abba Bello Muhammad. That one is from Kano State. Okay. So Justice Abba Bello is 62. All these judges are actually in their 60s. 61, 62, 65, like that. So Justice Abba Bello Muhammad, his own landmark judgment that has to do with election from record was during the 2019 governorship election between Emmanuel Ombugadu and governor, that one is the Governor Abdullahi Sule. I think that's Nasarawa, I believe. So Mohammed dismissed the petition for lacking a merit, holding that the petitioner's allegation of overvoting and electoral violence could not be substantiated. So a judge who is part of this panel has ruled in the past that electoral violence that cannot be proved cannot cause the court to nullify an election. So these are the 5 justices. So they are thinking Justice Monica will be the lead judge or lead judge in this Obi versus Tinubu versus Atiku's case. I'm sorry, versus INEC case, as well as Atiku versus Tinubu versus INEC case. So these are the faces of those who will determine whether Tinubu is going to be a ceremonial president or is going to be your next nightmare, your next shaggy for the next 4 years. So let's now get down to the bus. Petition is kind of boring. Usually, if you read petitioners who are like writing the reason why they want an election to be cancelled, okay, so long, 170, whatever, So, but it becomes kind of fun when you start reading the response of the defendants. And this is where I'm going to pick what I think I should share with you, because it is really boring to be reading them, versus and all that. So Wahala started when Atiku's lawyers, in their petition, they pointed out areas that they felt like, and they said they will prove that Tinubu didn't score the number of votes allocated to him in some part of northern Nigeria. Yeah? And is also that's Atiku now, is also challenging the rigging of PDP in some part of southern Nigeria by INEC. The figures that are not matching what the figures they have, they are not matching what INEC declared. Now, when they're asking INEC to present what they declared, yeah, INEC started playing hide and seek. Now, let me now tell you where things are so interesting. Where some people believe that maybe, just maybe, Tinubu is just counting days to be sworn in, and then he can just kill this whole thing entirely, just same way he did in 1999 when he was sworn in as governor. Because if you read the response of INEC, as well as the response of Tinubu's lawyers to some of the petitions, to some of the accusations, allegations in the petitions of Obi and Atiku, you will think these guys are actually not interested in defending anything. They are like, I'll give you an example. In Obi's petition, good enough, the obedient were those who did the FBI job that finally nailed Tifnumbu. All this while, when you want to talk about Tifnumbu, you will talk about him being corrupt, he's a godfather, he's a fascist, and whatever you want to call him and all that. Oh, he didn't go to any school, Charade. He's committed perjury and all that. But nobody has actually been able to nail Tifnumbu like the obedient nailed him now. When I said obedient because the person that put Tifnumbu on that map for everybody to begin to research him, David Undenyi, is also in support of the annihilation, the extermination of the establishment, PDP, APC. Therefore, you can call him obedient because they have been the ones who have amplified this. And in fact, they have been the ones who have kept saying, blackmail us, gaslight us, even kill us, beat us, do all of that. But you always come back to the main point. Here are the 5 reasons why Tifnumbu should not be president of Nigeria. Remember, PDP, APC, then be same, Abi. So while all this information were out there, PDP ignored it. They ignored all the information. They ignored all the evidence. Are you with me? But now, Atiku is building his case on the evidence developed, discovered, amplified by the obedient. Give them that credit. I have my reason for mentioning that. Because Atiku today is now adding extra prayers after Tinubu and his lawyer called him a time waster, a serial contestant, and then a serial loser. So Atiku is now has called his lawyers to now please tap into all this available info and then tell the court, tell this justice, these judges that Tifnumbu is constitutionally crippled, constitutionally disabled. That's the word. Atiku said, in fact, it's like I'm already jumping the gun. So let's go back to where the Gbasgbos actually started from. So after this whole evidence have been in the whole space all this while, PDP, they were supposed to be the main opposition. They avoided that convo because even Atiku self, na certified criminal. Are you with me? The SPV, Special Purpose Vehicles, how to loot, how to steal Nigeria money without it or a penny of it being traced to you. SPV, he who wants to come to equity must come with clean hands. So they ignored. Do you remember? Atiku no fit go America. Tifnumbu no fit go America, except they pay some lobbyists. The lobbyists that are going to, clear road for them. And then they can begin to take pictures beside the school buildings. And they will tell you they are meeting some diplomats. They are meeting some international partners. So they avoided all the information. They avoided all of this. But it can't be like Selma going to court and say that I won. Atiku is saying he won. I won the election, but if Tifnumbu rigged me out, it's like a new joke. So Atiku is demanding that Kolu should be totally disqualified. Because how could you make a drug dealer, a drug baron, the president of Nigeria? In Atiku's words, where is that? I'll read it to you. It said, Tifnumbu when Atiku submitted his petition. So Tifnumbu, lawyer, when they saw that, they said, this whole thing Atiku is putting here, where is he even going to get numbers from? That from what we have, if we should release the real figure, Atiku will cry. But Atiku is just here to waste the time of the courts. Atiku is telling the court that Tinubu didn't score 25% in Abuja. That's similar to Obi, isn't it? They said that INEC declared fake figures for Tinubu in about 20 states. 20 states. You heard me right. 20 states. They said that the real figure that they have, that if Tinubu APC, they didn't even win. They didn't even win 25%. 25, not that winning state would like win 25% in 12 states. Tinubu no score more than 25% in 12 states. So they want to prove that. So then Tinubu's lawyers started laughing. Like, homo, this don't even know what happened. You know, no say, if we have to like do the rigging properly, now Obi we supposed to put second. So that we can now put you, Atiku, third. But you see that Obi, if he should by any mistake be the second, well, if they say we not go get sworn in, they will believe it too. So this Atiku, so it was like a joke to them. They were not like putting up any real defense. They were saying that Atiku, as a person, right, has been contesting to be president of Nigeria since 1993. This is not even funny. It's not fun. That's what they said. In defense against Atiku's petition, Tinubu people were telling the court that Atiku is a waste of time. That he has been contesting to be president since 1993. Atiku is not destined to be president of Nigeria. That you think I'm making that up? No, I'm not. That's what Tinubu's lawyer said. They said God doesn't want Atiku to be president of Nigeria. That the court should throw his petition out because God doesn't want him to be president. Along. So now Atiku and his lawyers are back and reacting. They said that it was like Atiku is a serial loser. So Atiku and his guns, and his lawyers, when they went back, they said, listen to this. So they said, said, my identity. Said, Atiku's identity, which comprises of his age, state of origin, and educational qualifications have never been in dispute like those of Tinubu. That is true. He said, Tinubu is constitutionally disabled from contesting for office of president of Nigeria. Tinubu is unfit to lead Nigeria, having been indicted for drug-related offenses in the United States of America and made to forfeit a sum of $460,000 as a compromise agreement. So now, not just that, they said the Chief Chris Uche, SAN, the PDP presidential candidate, justified why the declaration of Tinubu as president-elect cannot stand, adding that against the law, Tinubu owes dual citizenship of Nigeria and Guinea, having voluntarily acquired the citizenship of the Republic of Guinea. They said Tinubu is not disclosing fact of his constitutional qualifications in Form EC9 submitted to the INEC, contrary to the provisions of the law. So, now justifying his request for the annulment of the declaration of Tinubu as president-elect, Atiku said that Tinubu and APC never won majority of the lawful votes cast in the February 25th presidential election. So, Atiku maintained that Tinubu failed part of the constitutional requirement, having failed to score 25% of the votes in the Federal Capital Territory, Abuja, as constitutionally required. So, Atiku and Obi, in their petition, they agree that before you can be declared president of a country, you should at least score 25. They don't say you should win Abuja. You don't have to win. No. You must at least score 25% of the vote in Abuja. Tinubu scored 11. Well, INEC couldn't rig that. So they declared that Tinubu scored 11%. So constitutionally, according to Atiku, Tinubu is constitutionally disabled, as if to say you will not get that constitution for it. Anyway, so he said, he said that the return of Tinubu as the winner of 2023 presidential election is undue, unlawful, and invalid because Tinubu did not meet the constitutional requirement as to qualification. Rather than addressing the issue raised against him and the disputed election, Atiku said that Tinubu deliberately chose not to answer points of substance in the petition and opted for contradictory and vague facts. So, where's the other part? Let's say God has said, well, anyway, you don't need that. That's just like the other extra when reporters are kind of adding extra. So, when Tinubu people, when they wanted, do you know how they responded to that Guinea passport? They said, the Guinea passport, hang on, in fact, it wasn't even Tinubu that responded. Do you know who responded about the Guinea passport? Yara, that Malian drug lord that you watched his video a few days ago. I told you, I didn't even know, Baba, 10 they happen in Africa. Kinimowi, what did I say? 10 is happening in Africa. You see that Yara, Osman Yara, that you saw his video with Tinubu inside the chopper. Abi? So he has already responded to that video. They probably released the video. He probably did. Right? Now he said Tinubu is his friend. So that Osman Yara, the drug lord from Mali, is also the African Union ambassador. Can you believe that? He's an ambassador for African Union. You remember that time when when we were younger, when they were calling them OAU, Organization of African Unity or something. OAU. Remember? No, they changed the name years back. And they are now called AU. Like EU. EU, European Union, African Union. That Yara, is an ambassador for that. An African Union in Africa is like, it's the union of all African states, where all the head of state of Africa, they come together, they meet, they discuss about Africa, their countries, conflicts, and all that. That Yara na ambassador, AU ambassador. This one is not honorary AU, official AU. That gives him access to meet African presidents inside the presidential palaces across Africa. Honestly. So he responded. They call him Ambassador Osman Yara. Along. This was a guy that was arrested for drug trafficking, cocaine trafficking in Mali. 32 kilograms of cocaine. He was caught. Himself and his gang. They were awaiting trial. When they finally appeared in court, the custom that investigated them and arrested them and put them on trial, the custom came back and they said the drug disappeared. The drug, the evidence is missing. So when there is no evidence, and immediately they said evidence is missing, all of them that confessed to all their drug dealings, all of them, they just retracted all their statement. Oh, no, we didn't say that. Oh, you were the one who told us this and that led to the arrest of that one. That led to the discovery of more drugs. No, we didn't say that. Oh, no, you forced us to say that. So at the end of the day, they caught him Mali. Freed him. He is ambassador. So it's not even just a drug dealer that is just like a friend of another drug lord. No. He has the emblem authority to go everywhere in Africa. You give drug lord, free pass all over Africa, diplomatic passports. So he's now the one who is now explaining that video. And he said that the diplomatic passports that they gave to Kolu Tinubu, which then makes him the citizen of Guinea Conakry, it is that drug dealer Yara who said it is honor. It was given to Tinubu by Alpha Conde. Remember Alpha Conde, the former president that got overthrown, Buhari Tinubu friend. Na military day Guinea Conakry now for the past 2 or so years. Sure you get. So now let me tell you something. A drug dealer from Mali is explaining diplomatic passport as honorary citizenship. Now, if you are given any citizenship anywhere, and they say, for example, let's say somebody say you are like they give you the honorary citizenship of Kampala in Uganda, or Nairobi. You see Nairobi in Kenya, let's say the governor of Nairobi decided to make Maiyegun the honorary citizen of Nairobi, Kenya. It simply means I am recognized, probably having made some contribution to Nairobi or to Kenya in some way, and to honor me, they will now give me that certificate that says I am welcome. Whenever I am in Kenya and I am in Nairobi, I am going to always feel at home and be at home. Sure you get. But before I can go to Kenya, I will need the Kenya visa. That doesn't make me a citizen of Kenya. Do you understand? When you are given honorary citizenship, it is not a citizenship that comes with the country's passport. Country's passport. Once you are given that passport, you are now the citizen of that country. It's not honorary. Do you get that? Do you want me to explain that again? When president says, we are going to make you we are offering you citizenship of this country, honorary citizenship, is because, you see, the road to citizenship is not given. Like they want you to think. Sure you get. But if the president of a country says, we are going to give you our diplomatic passports, that is the identity of a citizen. That is what you can tender anywhere, as for, like your Nigerian passport. That Nigerian passport. You can see it. If you see it in the hand of a Ghanaian, that Ghanaian must have acquired that passport. The only legal way they can is through marriage or naturalization. There are ways you can become citizens like that. Tinubu was given diplomatic passports. A passport that Tinubu will appear. It's still his name, but it will be traveling all over the world, right? With diplomatic passport is not like any other passport. Sure, you know. Now it will be traveling all over the world as a Ghanaian. Or should we say he has been traveling all over the world as a Ghanaian, even though it is still his name? Diplomatic passport. Nigeria doesn't give diplomatic passport to people who are not in political office. Even if you are in political office as well, it's not actually for everyone. So in their petition, responding to petition, they said the whole court of Nigeria, with the evidence and copy of that Ghanaian passport and citizenship, they are responding to that petition like, my lord, it is just honorary citizenship. Don't listen to all this nonsense they are putting in the petition. And that's their response. When they asked them about Tinubu's drug dealing in America, forfeiting money from almost 8 bank accounts, they say, yeah. It is true. It is true that he forfeited money because of drug dealing. But my lord, these guys don't know the truth. Well, the truth is, the case that the DEA in America has is against the bank account, not the Tinubu, the account holder. That's their response. So if you are a judge and you are reading out those responses, won't you be laughing? And say, are these guys serious? I mean, are they actually like serious, or this is just like them trying to sort of play about before they now get serious? Like, what is this? So these are the responses. So because of this, Atiku has now demanded that his lawyers should add extra prayers. Here you get now, like, you know what? we are also going to tap into this drug issue. We're going to we're going to tap into all of this available evidence. We're going to build on them because this Tifnumbu, the shege that is actually going to show Una, Atiku may not come back from Dubai again, ever. Anyway, that's just on the side. Just few days ago, my dear people, few days ago, the news of the war in Sudan, okay, was everywhere. And why? Because it was at that time that people got to know that a lot of Nigerians are living in Sudan and schooling in Sudan. And in fact, they are trapped in Sudan. And because they are Nigerians, nobody even want to take them in Africa. Everybody kind of doesn't want to have anything to do with them. Tanzania said if they come closer to their border, they will shoot them, Nigerians. What is Nigerian government doing about it? What are they going to do about this? And as usual, everybody started attacking themselves on social media. Hey, some people are saying that leave them. Now, see Islamic study, then go study for Sudan. Now, jihadists, then go study there. All of them, there's this person, they call him doctor. This guy went to Sudan, and he went there to go and do what you will call the PhD in Islamic studies. PhD in Islamic studies. And guess what he wrote for his PhD thesis? Guess. I know you can't tell me because it's like I'm teasing you, Abby. But guess, I'll read the comment. What do you think this person who studied who had his PhD in Islamic studies in Sudan, what do you think he submitted as his final thesis that he got his PhD on? I'll tell you. The guy studied how to stop the expansion of Christianity, how to stop the growth of Christianity in northern Nigeria. That is what he wrote his thesis on, and he got a PhD for it in Sudan. You know, obedient are like, see this one. Somebody said that cattle rearing, terrorism. Come on, let's get serious. Well, maybe terrorism too. Terrorism that goes, terrorists that went to Harvard. A Nigerian traveled to Sudan to go and get a PhD in Islamic studies on how to stop the growth and expansion of Christianity in northern Nigeria. And he is a doctor. If you see his name, they say Dr. Saliu Abubakar. Dr. this. Anyway, so the obedience started uprooting some sort of information when it comes to what is really going on in Sudan and Nigerians in Sudan. So they started with, leave them there. Now, it's really the call. All of them, we go to Sudan. They don't go to Sudan, go study anything, we go benefit Nigeria. Now, everything we go further polarize Nigeria, destroy Nigeria, divide Nigeria. Now, waiting they go study for Sudan, but I say, hey, they calm down. Everybody should calm down. No, they use that blanket statement, There are over 5 million Nigerians living in Sudan. Maiyegun, they are northerners. They are not Nigerians. I say, calm down. Wait, let me finish. Over 5 million Nigerians are living in Sudan. Of course, majority are from northern Nigeria. Some of them are students. In fact, a lot of them are students. And when this whole thing started, and people started calling on the government of Nigeria to do something. Are you going to do something? Hang on, I'm going to change my battery before this thing blink off, okay? Don't go anywhere, just hang on there. I'm going to come back in a minute. This is now go. Now so Nigeria they turn on. Nigeria they go like that. Crash. So let's leave all sentiments. Get these people home. A responsible government should have reacted a long time ago before things got to this stage. But it is Nigeria, who cares? And a lot of, like I said, if it not happen to you, sometimes you don't think Nigeria is, you don't believe that Nigeria is gone. Now when it happened to you, now then you go on, they scream, yeah. Majority of these ones are from northern Nigeria, the ones who left Nigeria. And a lot of people started pulling up what they have seen them defended from far away Sudan, defending APC, Egbe. So as people were after them, shut up, all of you, go and fight Sudan, don't come back here, don't go and trek, all of that. Nobody wanted to care. Others are calling on Abike Dabiri. They are not calling on Boko Haram. Abike Dabiri. Abike, is it because we are not Dana? Is it because we are not Dana? That's why you want us to die. Abike, you cannot come and carry us. And Abike said, I know they call carry you. If you see anywhere, any bridge, where you say anything, we go protect your head, go on down. I mean, they no bomb you dead. That was about 4 days ago. I'm not joking. I mean, I'm just trying to make a lighter sort of thing of it. So fast forward to yesterday. Now, so breaking news. Breaking news. Nigeria to spend $1.2 million to evacuate Nigerians from Sudan. What did they do? They don't come, $1.2 million. See. Oh, yeah, tell us how you want to do them. They said $1.2 million, they are going to get a 40. Give me a second. They are going to get a 40 Marco Polo buses. Ekene Dili Chuku buses. How much is the shutter of Ekene Dili Chuku right now? I think you still have that, don't you? Give me a second. Oh, that's not well. Give me 1 sec. Right, let's leave it that way. Ekene Dili Chuku. And it's going to cost Nigeria $1.2 million. Well, it doesn't matter. Some said that money is, money shouldn't be a problem like life. Just get them home. So they sent us a video of getting these people home. And it's going to take them 2 days and 4 hours to drive from Khartoum to Cairo in Egypt. So they're going to drive through the desert. Some part of the desert have, they have road in the desert. Some part no get road. Sandstorm can just blow and you no go even see the road. Now only track you go to follow. But $1.2 million, 40 buses from Sudan. So that must have been paid to the transportation company. Because listen, this is not like, okay, hang on. APC said they were spending $1.2 million. So ordinarily as a government, you would think they will make consultation, they will consult with a transportation company since there is no fly zone. But Nigeria needs you. Nigeria is done for. Because I just remember now, despite the fact that they had the no-fly zone in that country, in Sudan, for weeks now, they declared a ceasefire temporary and they opened the airspace and they allow people to actually bring in their aircraft and then they lift their people out. UK did it. US did it. Within that space of time, Nigeria, they hire buses to drive people for 2 days, 4 hours before they can then lift them from Egypt to Nigeria. Okay, if the government says they are paying $1.2 million, then that means they've put on the logistics, they've consulted the right people, and then they will have everybody who is interested in coming back to Nigeria to turn up, Abi. Okay. The way Wahala first started was when they said people who are running away from war, they are now selecting them by state of origin. State of origin, Bawo. Ni Sudan. Are you not Nigerians? Show your passport and enter this thing. Show any form of ID. Yeah, enter, move, they move from this war zone. That's what you will expect, Abi. Omo. Then they say everybody from your from state of origin, come and show your state of origin. They say, if not by state of origin, then Abia will go first. Abia, Umaya, Adamawa, Adamawa will go next. Anambra, Oka, Akwa Ibom, Uyo, Bauchi. Sure you get all the people where there's Zamfara. Now them go they no go see boss. Which one is state of origin in the thing when you are running away from war?
Yanzu wannan shine faran hawa mota da ɗaliban da za a kawo daga ƙasar Sudan zuwa Cairo zuwa kuma Najeriya. To yanzu an fara hawa mota ta jihohi, ana kiran sunayen jihohi ne. Wannan motar 'yan Kaduna da Taraba da kuma Yobe. Sannan waccan kuma motar 'yan Katsina. Sannan nan kuma 'yan Kano ne za a kawo motar su ita ma daga ciki, za a matso musu da ita kusa sannan su hau. Wannan kusan shi ne abin da yake tafiya a halin yanzu. Duka waɗannan 'yan jihar Kano ne waɗanda suke jiran motar su ta zo, tana can baya kawai matso da ita za a yi gaba. Wannan shi ne daga nan babban birnin Khartoum na ƙasar su.
Immediately some people were like, they want to do the Ojoro. If you no be from northern Nigeria, now there they go discover you. You don't say all of you will be your papa, your mama, then be from Abia, Akwa Ibom, then be from Ebonyi, Enugu. But all their life, now from Zamfara, Nasarawa to Kaduna, from Kaduna to Niger, now they then born you. But when they wanted to get you the form, say they won't send you go school, they won't get you passport. State of origin, Enugu, but now Zamfara then born you. Now you can't go they study medicine. They study medicine in Sudan to become a doctor. What can't happen? They got to say state of origin. That's how terrible Nigeria has become. Let me be honest with you. Like unbelievable. Nigerians, everybody, yeah. Let's get you out of here. Nigerians, Americans. Nobody go say, state of origin, Americans, Floridans, Texans, Californians. Who go be first? Alabamas will be first. Alaska, Alabama. Where else again? All of you, where there is no Z in America. So that's somewhere in a war zone. No? So I think that should have been fine until they started moving. $1.2 million. I remember that time where they talked to they want to go rescue some Nigerians from India. You remember? And they went there to that place and they started asking Nigerians there to. You remember that time when Indians and attacking Nigerian students and all that? And they sent people there. They said, okay, the government of Nigeria have spent. The government of Nigeria was going to spend $5.something million to get you home. Only for the people where they send me they go rescue people. When they got to India, they started asking the student to come and pay $100 if they won't go. If you no fee pay $100, that's your problem. They started collecting bribe from them. Are you with me? Anyway, $1.2 million mean a company is given the job. A transportation company that knows what they are doing. And in fact, they have the logistics to take everybody. Nobody say they go, should you call say our driver mewa. Give us 10 driver. We need 10 buses. They say, what's your name? Abi Alaji Begiludu. They say, what's your name, sir? Ewuju. Okay, sir. Now you they drive that white one. Sir, what be your own name, sir? They say, Deleti Ologa, sir. So they will say, okay, you know what? We they go to 5 states, all of you. We go give you half payment. When we get to the place and we are coming back, we'll give you balance. You won't expect a country to deal like that. I'm just saying. Because, it didn't take long after they did state of origin, state and capital. For those who finally made it into the buses, now halfway they reach you. They say the guy talks to them, they don't pay them. They don't pay us, they go again. Hey, what be this, Abike?
Before we started this journey, we have to go on several fighting. Can you imagine that we are stuck in this desert for 5 hours? We don't know which state we are. Like we don't know the situation we have. We don't have water. Our money has finished. Can you imagine? And they said very big danger.
Look at this place.
Don't take a look at this place. Why is Nigeria Before we started this
giant of Africa, $1.2 million. It be like say driver just reach halfway. Like, I don't drive a whole day. My company talk say alert never enter. Say, but wait, now it's Nigeria. Nigeria, I play to Nigeria, my country, giant of Africa. I leave giant of Africa, giant of where? Company said that they haven't received alert. Now fake alert, then do them. Can you believe that? So those ones, they started the drama midway. They say driver say no, they go again. Say call your people. In the middle of the desert. Do you know what actually happened after? From those who were there, they said the people, the students among them, all of them traveling, they had to gather all of their Nigeria passports, put everything inside one basket, and they gave it to the drivers. That at least take all of this. We can't go anywhere without our passports. So when we get to Egypt, we will resolve this issue. Now they are now like, you see these ungrateful people. Now here is another one.
gidan da muke tun ranar asabar da gona da gidan da nake bani da gurin da zan zauna squatting nake inda nake squatting ma is not safe jami'an da nazo zan zauna sun rufe kun kula da su ban san ina zan je in kwana ba ba ruwa ba abinci da kudin ka ma baka da ruwan da zaka siya baka da ruwa baka da abincin da zaka samu komai ya kare babu it's not safe we can't go out to get something komai wannan kasuwa su ke yi ba mun saba da gwanshan tashi muke da gwanshan da kwana da gwanshan ya suke so mu yi da rayuwarmu mu yanzu ba mata mu muke yi ba ƴan uwanmu da aka kai su Sahara aka je aka ajiye su.
I heard that of Sahara. I heard the Megiddo. I heard the part they said that Babu Abinshi, and then something like about Ruwa. So Babu Abinshi is that they didn't give us food. They didn't give us water. The Sahara that you are hearing there is like we are stuck in Sahara. That's what you need to know. And you know, then the reaction tells you the rest of the story. It is what it is. For now, then though, because as it is, the drivers have continued the journey. According to Abike Dabiri, earlier, Abike started, when those children started uploading videos, they started speaking this, they are Hausa, this, Ghana, Gunu, Ghana, Gugwe, Morawan. Abike Dabiri started panicking. In the process, she lost it. Abike now turned to Remi Werekwe, just like pretty much like Remi Werekwe, to the point that children they tell Abike, you be Agbero. Children know that they tell Abike where you see for NTA TV, NTA News, NTA 10, NTA Network News. You remember Abike? Some of you Indomie generation, you may not remember Abike. That Abike that has now turned to that has turned to tissue paper. The APC finally unraveled, and she's turned to a tissue paper in the hands of young people. She used to be on TV when some young people go to practice, they won't be journalists like Abike. Some will be like, Is this the same Abike auntie Abike as a auntie? Who is your auntie? You don't know your auntie. Abike don't turn to Omota, Gidi, and because say the young people on social media is a leveler. Whether you are 80, whether you are 70, just respect yourself. Not go anywhere, come the Messiah, they go give you your share size. I will do it, but Koshidano. You just say this one are like it is within 1920. They will give you your size. Sure you get. And in Nigeria, you may actually use power to go and attack people because they say something you don't like. You can't do that elsewhere. Today, then provoke Abike. Since last night, then provoke Abike. Abike turned to Omalata. And so it's not the first time, sure you get. They say, but Auntie Abike, leave them alone. No. Nobody should tell me to leave them. Every time. They will say, because I'm a public official, they will be abusing me and calling me. The other one was calling me Ashewo. The other one was calling me Ron's girl. The other one was calling me Auntie Ekoshi song. Nobody call you Ron's girl. She Ron's girl, you know. So can you hear that one too? She is asking me if I'm a Ron's girl. Auntie won't be on she Ron's girl. Can you call your mama Ron's girl? Say, Etibinu. That's how much young people can provoke. People can lie shamelessly, and they're expected to be respected because they are auntie. She will land in Lenny. She will leg bone. Don't you have elders at home? Say, if the elders in my house are behaving like you, some of them, you probably will have found a place for elderly abuse. No, the abuse of the elderly. Because if you have any elders in your house that are like these people, these criminals, of course, you won't respect them. See, tell me, all the elders, people will be say, how many people you call elder for your house? For your house, all those people where say, then hold. But because they be useless people, you have no respect for them. You just ignore them. They be part of your family. If I tell you to close your eyes now, you will remember one or two of them, whether they are dead or they are still alive. That you can say, Daddy Alajapa. All his life like this, he was a useless man. Daddy Alajapa Longpe, useless man. That's exactly what it is for this. So if you have useless people in your family, you no go respect them. Let's be honest. If you see anybody in your family where they misbehave, you no go, come on. They can't hold. Politico, they avoid the man now, avoid the woman. They say that, I thought that she's your family. No, she's not my family. Oh, Joe, please. I don't want him to see me, Joe. He's not my family. I thought, you know what I mean? You have them. But you see this Olori Brukwa bias. When they lie to you publicly, they want you to respect them and say, Auntie Mude, Muko Nwu Lara Neo. Auntie Muko Woju Neo. Auntie Mife Woju Neo. Sorry. Auntie, I don't want to look at you. I don't want to offend you. Auntie Mife Woju Neo. Woju Auntie Oshiko Woju Babawere. Look at their eyes and tell them straight up. That's the reality now. If they believe, say, maybe something positive is going to happen, these ones are part of those who have stolen that future from you. Not go to give any unnecessary respect to some weirdies because they are older than you. So, Abike can't receive them. So, I can't pity Abike. Sure you get. I can't pity Abike. In one of their in one of their exchanges online today, on top this $1.2 million what do they call them? $1.2 million rescue. The Northerners themselves, after that video, after those videos, Abike Dabiri now tweeted. She said, I have just spoken to NEMA Nigeria. He confirmed the bosses have continued their journey and said whatever issues have been resolved. Mama, issue will resolve. Tell us, is it true that your $1.2 million news now figgy, now blank check where una the right to na serve? Promissory notes. So you go give promissory note to people for Sudan, people where they fight war. You go they give promissory note for them. Auntie Abike Dabiri. That's how people were like, oh. Abike Dabiri can't they tweet like saying they in this Sudan. See the tricky, fraudulent woman. Oh. Look under that tweet. It says Khartoum, Sudan. Where they no pass Abuja, then they with Kolu, where they give them Pampas, change everything. Oh. She did there, but she's pretending to be from Abuja. I mean, it's from Khartoum. I don't know where they look Khartoum. Anyway, one of them now responded, you are a liar. They continue because the student gave their passport to the drivers until payment has been made. So that means, like I said, the students, the northerners there, they gave their passports to the drivers. That please, sorry, I don't know, just talking nonsense anyway. Yeah, whatever. And somebody came and said, seriously, where did you get this? And it was, I am currently in Sudan. I'm among the victims, so I know what I'm talking about. One of the students. So, meanwhile, prior to this, right? Shemika, tell you something. That's why I said that the fight will go happen between Tifnumbu Lagos Abobaku as well as the Arewa jihadist of APC after May 29. Now, special blockbuster that some of you are actually not thinking about now, but it's okay. It's all right. You go soon see the fight. Between 2 days ago, yesterday and today, majority of these victims of this Sudan evacuation that are northerners, when they tweeted, when they tried to scream for help, okay, in line of all they are saying, they were saying, hi, Tinubu never become president now, The Yorubas have not taken power now. They have already started abandoning us, so they have started lying to us. So all these things, I swear, it go they hurt people like Abike. Imagine you reading from northerners that you call your allies, and they are now accusing you of abandoning them. When the man, still the president of Nigeria, is their man, and they can't call him. So, but you have to pretend, like say you are still nice, until when their man no go day, you go come show them shege. So prior, Abike just enter everybody. Now your mama, now your papa, say, she this one a federal government employee. This is a federal government employee. Oh, now your papa, now your this and that, say they don't provoke and say Abike. Anyway, as we speak, they said they have continued their journey. So we wish them a safe trip back to Nigeria. Back in Nigeria, a lot of the obedient are now saying, make they shall do quick, make them bring them come back here. Because now then they Sudan, then they Saudi Arabia, then they Dubai, UAE. And they are shouting Sai Baba there. Bring them back here now that Kolu is coming on. When Kolu start dealing with everybody, even Sai Barbarian, they go disappear. Something like, everybody come here. Come face them here. Just Sai Baba. But it doesn't really matter anyway. They will go another places. So I think now you suppose work on yourself to the point that you won't have to like wait for a karma like this, before you can feel good about what Nigeria has done to you. I would say. So wish them safe trip to Egypt, and then from Egypt, something we say. Alan Onyema's talk said the Airpeace owner, CEO, said he would lift Nigerians trapped in Sudan for free. Now that same one, Nigeria, Buhari hurriedly said they have approved $1.2 million to get them back. So, cash and carry in the midst of a mystery of the people, when people are going through hell, you can turn it to business just like they did with Boko Haram and all that. But do you know something? Few weeks ago, it's a weeks. All these things happen so fast sometimes that you feel like they happened weeks ago. This is not weeks ago. Let's say a week ago. The news came and they said that Nigeria has been given $800 million. $800 million. In order to, $800 million to share to 50 million Nigerians, poor Nigerians, so as to cushion the effects of subsidy removal, petroleum subsidy removal. Now, petroleum subsidy removal mean you are going to wake up one morning and you're going to buy a liter of petroleum for over 800 naira, 1,000 naira a liter. Now that's like a booby trap that somehow got averted or postponed for Kolu or whoever is going to actually take charge from Buhari. So what they have done now is that the NEC, They call them the National Executive Council. They came out and they said, no, you can't remove subsidy now, so leave it. So people are now asking, what's going to happen to the $800 million loan? Are they going to just return it and just cancel it so that we don't have to, they won't have to pay the interest and all that? Nigeria is already using 98 to 100% of their revenue in debt servicing. You collect revenue, you send it to the people who borrowed you money, your lender, just to service your debt. And you just took another one that you won't need. What are they going to do with the $800 million? Your guess is as good as mine. Story Magulas last in it. Just wait for it. Nobody. They never release Endsars protesters. They never release Nnamdi Kanu. They never release election results from presidential election. We will all suffer this monster called Nigeria together. Bless you. You have mentioned just two very important things that I believe I was going to talk about tonight. Endsars protesters. Do you all know that those who participated in the Endsars protest almost 3 years ago, that you see have over 40 of them that are languishing, locked up, languishing in different prisons across Nigeria? Do you know that? Do you know that there have been so many organizations who have taken it upon themselves to look out and discover these Nigerians who are locked up in these prisons all over Nigeria, and they have found them? Do you know that? Do you also know that this group of people, these groups who have discovered this illegally and then unconstitutionally locked up Nigerians because they participated in a protest, right, and denied their normal legal support or legal aid, court appearance? Do you know that this group who discovered them have been making effort to push their cases before judges and get them the reprieve and they needed? And do you know that they have been they have been facing serious backlashes, should you call it? Like, there's a word for it, they are facing them from accessing justice. This is no longer like people forgot them. This is no longer like nobody is coming to help them. People are actually there seeking justice for them, but Nigerian system continue to deny them. You know why? Because in all these places, the people actually holding them, they are only using Endsars as just an excuse to take away their rights. They have personal stones to grind with them. But in this country without a justice, I think it's a very beautiful thing that you mentioned this nobody. My very good Egbon. Then you mentioned Nnamdi Kanu. Do you also all remember that no matter what they have told you about Nnamdi Kanu, whatever you think of Nnamdi Kanu, I am not going to ask you not to think what you think of him. Because in my own world, right, they don't really change anything. They don't. However, whatever you think or you have heard or whatever belief you hold about Nnamdi Kanu, do you know that in Nigerian courts, 1 second though, in Nigerian courts, where you expect the government of Nigeria that controls their own courts, appoint their own judges, possibly they have the best of the best lawyers to handle the federal government cases, especially when it borders on what they call treason. So, do you know that on 5 different occasions that Nnamdi Kanu have been taken before different judges on different charges, whatever one that you are familiar with, terrorism, treason, incitement, wants to cause war, whatever, is sponsoring unknown government and all of that, all of those, you would expect your government to have evidence of them, even if they are going to make up the evidence. You listening? Even if they have to put fake people to come and give fake testimonies. Sure, you get? Present those evidence in your own court. Do you know that on 5 different occasions, Nnamdi Kanu has defeated Nigeria and their lawyers in front of their court? And do you know that since November 2022, the appeal court in Nigeria said he should be released. They didn't say release him and take him to Aba. The court in Nigeria said his kidnapping is illegal. They did it so illegally that Nigeria didn't just violate their own law. They violated the international law. The ones that they are also signing, they are part of those who put those international laws together that Nigeria is part of. Nigeria violated them because of one man. Because they wanted to keep him as a trophy. Not because they wanted him to face your law. Now, you wanted him to face justice. You wanted him to be punished. But guess what? You can only punish somebody, right? By your law. And if you can't use your law, just take anybody on the street and shoot and kill them and say you've given them justice. That's it. Banana Republic, which is what Nigeria is. Do you know that since November, despite whatever their media told you, whatever their lawyers told courts, the court said he must be returned to where he got kidnapped from. That he must be put on a plane and returned back to Kenya. And then Nigeria should do the proper thing by processing his extradition from Kenya to Nigeria. That's what your court said. Your judges said in Nigeria. Buhari government disobeyed the law. I mean, the court. And do you know that since that November, they have still locked him up? Some of you actually wanted him to remain locked up. Now, your election is over. Would you join us now to demand for his release? Would you? No? Okay. Since November last year, his lawyers have been making efforts to approach the Supreme Court of Nigeria. Do you know one thing? Attorney General of Nigeria that will come on TV and tell you, Nnamdi Kanu is this, Biafra is that, IPOB is this and that. The same guy approached your court in Nigeria by pleading with the court to please hold action on their judgment. Yes, he went to court and begged the court. He said, please, we want you to hold action. We don't want to release him now. It's not good for now. Yes, we agree that we've lost. But can you please hold action until we have a Supreme Court interpretation? Because we can't just let him go like that. Yes, we failed. We couldn't prove it to you that he's a criminal. We couldn't prove it to you that he's the enemy of Nigeria. No, we couldn't really prove anything that he's committed any crime. They couldn't prove it. Always remember that they couldn't prove it. As corrupt as Nigerian courts are, Nigerian government couldn't prove that Nnamdi Kanu did anything wrong. So they are holding him illegally. That is wrong. It is an injustice. Whether you like him or you don't like him, don't wait till you find yourself in that situation. You don't have to ask for Biafra or ask for any republic before Nigeria can put you in a hole just by looking for one excuse. And Nigerians, they will tell Nigerians the lies that they want them to know so that they can condemn you when you are in that hole. They denied him medical access. They denied him all the court approved, his grants for his own right. Even with that, within the confinement of his captor, they denied him all of that. They want him dead. And the Supreme Court, no, Supreme Court is not going to do anything. Since November, finally today, the Supreme Court called his lawyers. Okay, bring it. Let's hear the case. And when they got there to this, when they got to the Supreme Court today, the Supreme Court was like, "Oh, sorry, we are tired. You know what? Let's hear the case next month in May. Why you lock an innocent man? You lock him up in an underground cell just because somebody couldn't have a good sleep anymore. As Nnamdi Kanu is free out there. Somebody lost sleep, lost peace of mind, and they just had to break international law to kidnap a British citizen. So Buhari will be jailed too. Just wait for it. The way the world is moving and turning, you go buy bread, send go some of these criminals you see today when they start there, when they actually start standing or answering for all of their sins. So thank you, nobody. I've always wanted to talk about that. They have now postponed Nnamdi Kanu's case till May. So in May, we want to see what their Supreme Court is going to say. Okay? We want to see what newly manufactured lies they are going to also push too. But Bokwari that is asking for forgiveness, if there is any forgiveness, he can, a slight of it, that he can at least, possibly gamble on, is to let an innocent man go. Whether he let him go or not, he's committed an unforgivable sacrilege. You hold an innocent man. You killed innocent people. Really? Okay. Anyway, let's take it to this. In fact, I think that should be it. This is where I'm going to take calls. Okay. This is where I am going to take calls. But before I take calls, I'm going to go make myself a cup of tea. So yeah, I can have a chat around this with everyone. But I will be back. So what we're going to do is that we have over 30,000 of us on YouTube right now. And I think we have about 400 of us on Facebook, maybe not. So if Facebook is not letting you share the video, I know why. They don't want, you should be, I'm so grateful that some of you actually found the notification and you joined, right? A lot of people don't even get the notification on Facebook, okay? Go on to my YouTube, okay? Join me on that YouTube. It's steady, it's safe. And if anybody if anybody reports my channel, I've always been given a chance to defend myself, okay? So go there, subscribe, and you won't miss anything. So to everybody who is watching on YouTube, over 30,000 of us right there, right? Do me one favor, even if you have to leave, make sure you drop your offering, like the broadcast. At least let's take it to, we only have about 700 of us who actually show that, yeah? Let's take it to 1,000. Let's take it to 1,500. Call it your own break, okay? Leave that comment section for a moment and just go under the video and like it. If you have done it, don't do it again. If you do it again, you are taking away your like. Okay, don't go and do it again. But I'm talking to me, so I'm talking to those who haven't. Anyway, ma go make tea, and when I get back, we will take calls and then we'll continue with this. Yeah. Thank you. I have my first caller, by the way. So, hello, sir. Adeola, you said?
Hello, is Mrs. Adeola?
Oh,
Mrs. Adeola from Ireland.
Hey, hello, ma. How are you?
I'm good. Yourself, Maiyegun?
I am very well, ma. I didn't actually hear you right there. It was like so loud. So, thanks so much for calling. Please, ma.
I've been trying since like 2 months.
I can imagine.
It's been hard, yes.
I know.
I know.
Thanks so much for not giving up.
How are you getting on? No, I won't give up. I won't give up.
Thank you, ma. Yes, we are getting on as usual. As long as I'm turning up here, everybody can be rest assured that I am fine. And thank you for asking.
Yes, yes. You're welcome. How is my baby and Abike and everyone?
She's doing very well, and they are all doing fine, ma. Thank you.
We thank God. Thank God.
Thank you, ma.
Yeah, at this point I really don't understand what is going on in Nigeria anymore, because sometimes I feel like, are you guys sleeping, or are you dumb, or are you not thinking, or is something not happening up there? Because I don't understand in a place or in a nation where you have educated people,
yes, ma'am,
claiming they know what is going on, or they don't understand what is going on. Because they mobile get them last because the phantom man annoy me, or the one that is most annoying is educated people. The way they reply you, or the way they talk, or the way they ask you just give up. Be like, no, I'm done with you guys. That's the one
I said, ma, that if we try to go into their world, trying to like say, okay, you know what, I'll come to their level. Maybe if I explain to them, ma'am, don't try it anymore. They will suck you in.
Don't try it.
Yeah, they will suck you in. They will suck everything, the energy in you. They will not beat you with experience, because that's who they are.
Don't drain me. Don't drain me. Like, what is going on? Are you guys deaf? Are you dumb? Are you blind? Show me anywhere in the world. Show me.
You can only wake somebody who is sleeping, ma. You can't wake somebody who is pretending to be sleeping.
To be asleep, the whole world. I'm a sorrow. Apart from the fact that yes, he's a human being, fit. Láti jẹ president odidi ìlú níbi tẹ́yìn ìtẹ́sọpẹ́ ìkàwé wà. Professors, doctors, this and that. Look at what is going on. Because of now, they are saying, well, according to what I heard online, that the Tribunal started looking at the election materials and all of that, and they discovered that all the votes added to Tinubu zone, they are going to bring it to Obi zone and this and that. It now dawned on me that this is why they are actually asking Obi to let go.
That's right.
Because
that's what people are saying, man, that if they present all of these things, Atiku present his own, Obi present his own, there is no way any judge will see all of that, and they will still say it doesn't matter. Let him continue.
It doesn't matter.
Like,
I hope they don't do that too, because trust Nigeria.
They will do that.
Trust them.
Sorry if that it is not coming out well, man. They will do it. Like, you are gonna see, things that are gonna get you so upset more. What you saw during the election is just going to be a sort of a preamble.
Child play.
So, I mean, they will do things so terribly that people are actually going to get angry. And then they will double down. But I don't want to take that hope away. Because, see, we can wake up, if they nullify Tinubu's election, heaven will not fall, Mao. Let us all of us...
Heaven will not fall. Heaven will not fall. That's what I'm saying. If they nullify it, what will happen?
Nothing will happen, no. Nothing will happen.
Nothing.
Heaven will not follow. But
Jesus
again...
Christ.
Let's keep the finger crossed. I don't want to dampen up people say, because you can't see all the evidence, man, and think there's no case against Tinubu or nothing will happen. I don't think nothing will happen. Something will happen, It's just maybe in reverse.
Reverse. Yeah, I'm just saying the best thing to happen is for that country to divide. If not, they are postponing evil days. Talk about the divide in Nigeria and Igba, so you can't divide. They are only postponing their evil days.
Sudan, Somalia. Sudan, Somalia.
Because Sudan, Somalia, there, and Nnamdi Kanu has said everything. If you watch all his or listen to all his teachings, you will there's nothing Nnamdi Kanu has said that has not happened in Nigeria, and it's still happening.
I think that's one of the reasons why they don't like him. That they actually have, you know what, Tima? I've heard people who have told me that, you know why I would never like that Nnamdi Kanu? And I said, why? He said, because that guy made him to accept and to agree with him. Like, put it this way. When they were hearing Nnamdi Kanu, it was sounding like, oh, he's a madman. He's a troublemaker. He's this and that, right? Those who claim to be educated, though, who are smarter. So when everything is said, started happening, some of them feel so bad to say they are going to go and agree with him. So I'm going to go and agree with Nnamdi Kanu. Wow. So some people were even disputing some things Nnamdi Kanu said. When some people were saying that Nnamdi Kanu said this, they were like, no, Nnamdi Kanu, when did Nnamdi Kanu say that? Is he a prophet in that sort of future?
Living in denial. Living in denial.
I know. But look at them today.
My God. Look at them today.
Look at them today.
Maiyegun, well done. No, you are doing a very, very, very good job. A very great job.
Thank you.
God will continue to be your backbone. God will continue to bless you.
Amen.
So I'm gonna. I found it hard to contribute to to support the program. You know, the last time.
Oh, the Yoruba.
But now
thank you so much, man.
Yes. But I have the Nigeria accents now, so I'm gonna gonna start doing my own bit.
Thank you so much.
From now.
God bless you. Thank you, man. Let me
have a good evening.
You too. Let me everybody. Yeah. Yes, ma'am. So I have another caller there on the line. Hello there.
How you doing, Maiyegun?
Papa Deo, I'm very well. How are you?
We thank God. I'm so glad that you pick up my call.
I'm so glad that you didn't give up and you keep calling. Thank you.
Yeah, I am so glad that you mentioned about Nnamdi Kanu. Most people in diaspora doesn't know how important Nnamdi Kanu case is. He's a British citizen. He has a British passport. And yet, the Nigerians are doing all these things to him.
They kidnapped him.
Most of us that's in diaspora, we are rejoicing. You know, we might be in that situation one day.
Yes.
That's why it's so important that we need to speak up. We need to speak up. Because now it might be Nnamdi Kanu today, tomorrow it might be us. It might be you, it might be me. Yes. So people are just taking this lightly. Like some people in diaspora are saying that they should lock him up.
Yes.
IPOP, whatever, blah, blah, blah. They are so stupid. They are not seeing the whole picture. They are so stupid. They need to get this thing right. Why we have time now. This guy is locked up with no representative. They don't want to give me a chance to go to courthouse. And some of us in diaspora is rejoicing for his being jailed or locked up.
Not even like they have.
So I'm so glad.
He's not even supposed to be in any jail right now, right? Because the court said he should be freed. But they rejected that 5 times. They locked him up. That's not right. And if all of us are fighting for justice and say, no, that Nnamdi Kanu, no, that one don't need justice, then stop pretending. You probably shouldn't have any justice for anybody then.
And they are made the crazy part about it is that most people that are saying lock him up, they are Igbos. I don't understand that concept. I just don't understand it.
It's funny. It's sad. It's not even funny. It's sad.
And one more thing again about Buhari. Buhari know the reason why he said that he's going to he's not going to be in Nigeria, because he knows he'll be prosecuted. They will no matter what, this guy will be prosecuted. There's no way he can escape it. They have done so much corruption in that country that each and every one of them will be prosecuted someday. They will not escape this.
They won't.
They will not. They think it's a joke. They all think they have power now. All this.
Let them enjoy their immunity for now. That's what they are enjoying for now. In another few weeks, they won't have that. And then the real world, they will be welcome to the real world, the one they created in 8 years. I am happily looking forward to that, Shao. I mean, Mio.
I'll be happy too, because this guy is a corrupt leader. He's so, I don't understand it. Why they do this thing? Nigerians are suffering, and you embedded all the money.
Mm-hmm.
The resource of the, I mean, these people are crazy. They don't have no sense. They don't. Maiyegun, thanks for picking my call. I appreciate you, sir.
I do appreciate you too, brother. Bye. Please, I hope we'll speak again. Thank you, sir. So I have another caller. I started feeling too warm, so instead of tea, I got myself a juice, my iron brew. See, it feels like I'm drinking wine, but it's actually a kind of iron brew. Here you get, but it's cold enough to keep my throat better. So I have a caller. Hello there.
Yes, sir, Mr. Maiyegun.
How are you, sir?
Kind of a little bit depressed, Jerry.
Please, so that one. Did you say a little bit unimpressed or depressed or something? What did you say there?
Unimpressed.
Unimpressed. Okay, fair enough. Let's see if we can boost our mood. So, because if you're unimpressed and unhappy in a way, it's going to affect me here too. So, tell me, where do you want to start from, sir?
Laba. I heard everything today, and I was like, am I supposed to be happy about this country I was born in, or am I supposed to be sad? I mean, how they ransack the whole government and they don't want to leave it anymore. It's very, very sad. I mean, imagine the story. No, they don't ask a question about. I remember you did a program sometimes ago about when you reveal the whole thing that happened in Yoruba Nation. That time when you put on Sagbada and started telling us.
I've actually missed that. I haven't found any. See, I haven't found any topic that will make me put on my Agbada again. I've missed them, and you mentioned it now. I'm going to wear the Agbada soon. I've missed them, but tell me, what did I do when I was wearing the Agbada? You want to say?
No. So I tried calling him that time to ask you a question, but most of the time when you are revealing those things or the revelations that happened, I was unfortunate because by the time I would be chance, the program already over.
I know.
So I was kind of watching the whole thing. I didn't think I got a chance that time. Because I want to ask you that. I mean, what was that? It's like you, maybe I'm wrong, too, but you knew then that all these problems were going on, like all the Babaki story, how, everybody believe in them that, they are. They are the forefront, like that one. I mean, with that mantle and everything. And I was asking myself, that I wish Travel Maiyegun should have come out before now and they take all these things. Let us know this things on time. Because I guarantee I was at the place sometimes somebody asked me that time that, hey, oh boy, where are you from? I said, I'm from Yoruba Nation, because I so much believe you're gonna have a headway that time.
Yep.
So I was like, did Maiyegun know all this thing this time, before this time, and it didn't reveal it or just get to know all this about you, in a way that,
I didn't. I'm glad that you finally call in to talk about that, okay? When I observed, it was an observation. I am somebody who believe that if I want to be part of something, I would love to know more, including the idea behind it, the people. Sure you get. So when I was talking to them, I realized that apart from the social media noise and the rest of that, right, there's absolute no plan or nothing going on. So, but to me that time, I was like, okay, maybe what happened then was they didn't expect it to boom. Sure you get. They were just doing this Yoruba Nation on the side. But the moment Oloye Sunday Igboho, who raised the alarm about insecurity, got our attention. Igboho got our attention abroad. And we started pulling resources together to help him and then everyone who is like going out there then. So it wasn't Yoruba Nation or what have you. So it was when they dragged him into it, right? So more people now beam attention to them, including myself. So around that time, I was like, okay, I will be willing to use my platform to help them, but I want to know what this is all about. So when I discovered, so behind the scene, right, my effort was like to say, it's like we turned something they didn't believe was going to be serious. We turned it into a big thing. And because of that, they lost control. They meant well. All those Baba. Sure you get, they meant well. So when their attention became so big, and a lot of people started joining here and there, you know what I mean? So it became so big that they lost control totally. So when they lost control, they didn't come out clean that they've lost control. So what they were doing was that they now started giving kind of attention to autumn decanary. Do you get that? So for example,
yes, sir.
Me, I can say, hey, Maiyegun Odudua. All I needed was just to go and give money to somebody close to Baba Akintoye, so that I can get Baba Akintoye to come to me and say, Maiyegun is working for Yoruba, is Keneko. Share you guys. So all of you can see me as somebody who is from Baba Akintoye. That's all I needed. And I can continue my own trade, doing my own thing, calling it Yoruba Nation. That was how they lost control. So I called their attention to that. I said, you need to gain control. You need, and this is how you're going to take control. If you continue to, you know, it's a long story, Sha, because I got to know that a lot of people actually turned it into a business thing, right? All they have to do is just package some money, give it to some people close to Baba Akintoye, and Baba Akintoye will give them it's a mess. But when I now realize that a lot of people actually believe that Yorubas need to leave. Genuinely, I have met with them. I have been to London. I've been to a few places in this country. And I've met with people who genuinely were asking me questions like, Maiyegun, how do you think we're going to do this? I say, well, I am not one of the leaders of those who are going to give you Yoruba Nation. I am supporting them because it's an ideal thing to do. But you know, when I now realize that, a lot of people believe these people. But behind the scene, with what I know, if something is not said in time, because
I believe them that time, because like I said, there was
my intention, even where I wanted to go is this, where I wanted to go is this, right? My intention was not to expose or create all of that. Sure, you get. My intention then was pretty much to see if they can now understand the gravity of what they are holding. That it is beyond Baba this or Baba that. There are millions of people all over the world that actually want this to happen. We need to give them that purpose. We need to give them that leadership. We don't need all these miscreants who are parading themselves as agitators and all of that. We need leadership. Something that can easily be identified. Baba, you. Omo. Long story short, and Baba, they have already entered. They have gone too far with those people. They can't go back anymore. And that's why you can't hear anything about them.
They can't go back anymore.
Like, they have gone so far, too deep, that to pull back was so impossible for them. And when I did my own expose, 1 or 2, 3 ones, since my intention was not really to attack or bring anybody down, it's now open to.
No, but that was good. That was good. No, that was good. That was good too, because
so I didn't do it earlier because I thought we could remedy it. We could let them know that this is serious now.
That's what I wish. I wish those revelations came. I mean, they were revealed earlier than that time. You know, maybe that could have been a remedy, and maybe they can retrade their step and everything. There's something I want to say about something like the other day about the the IVA line that was on
okay, now Baba Tinubu, yes.
Yeah. See, you see that thing in his end that it came with from France wherever he went to. And the reason why I want to talk about it again, go back, is because somebody said something yesterday or day before that maybe his intention is to call me and just fulfill one purpose of maybe calling for what is this thing? Conference. What is that thing? See, restructuring of what?
Yeah,
there was a time no that person is like
a national conference.
Yeah. Yeah. Because let me tell you something. I've been in a situation whereby I was admitted and they have to do that thing for me. They did it for me.
Right.
You just don't go anywhere with that kind of, they call it a client. You just don't go anywhere with that stuff. Yes. You just don't go anywhere with that stuff.
Thank you so much, sir. At least we finally spoke. So I hope you will be regular now. I mean, it's not going to be a one-off.
Oh yeah, I'm fine. We just, I mean, a lot of things to talk about, but with time and other callers.
Yeah.
So let's give them a chance.
Thank you. You have a good one, okay?
Thank you very much for the good job.
You're so welcome, sir. Thanks for the support, yeah. So I have that, and then I have another call on the line, but I'm going to, okay, yeah. Hello there. Can you hear me?
Hello, my good people from here.
How are you?
I'm good. Nice to be with you again today.
It's a pleasure hearing from you again. Please, my lady.
Thank you. Chichi on the line.
Chichi, did you say Chichi?
Yes, I did say
Oh, Chichi, is that you? Where should I start from? Happy New Year, Merry Christmas, Happy Easter, Happy Salah, Barika de Salah. Like, how many should I greet you? It's been a while.
It's really been a while. I wish you all of them together. I send back to you.
Thank you. That's a
I took a backbench. I've been watching you all along.
Thanks.
As much as everything that brings about Nigeria brings, like exhausted, like peaceless, like. You know, it's something you don't wish seeing yourself in this spot. We are just in this spot at the moment. The greed didn't start with just the citizens. Unfortunately, it started with the so-called leaders.
I know.
It's the greed, that same greed that is keeping us where we are at this spot.
Agreed.
I've tried calling though since this election called Bukata.
Yeah.
I tried calling, but you know the line is always busy.
It's always very busy these days, I know. And
yeah, very, very busy.
That's why I always kind of count myself lucky when people say, "Oh, I'm so happy that I got through today," and I'm like, "You don't have a clue. You don't have an idea. I'm happy that you got through too." I know.
I feel them seriously. I feel them. It's like one hitting a jackpot at the same time. It's like one hitting a jackpot. Yesterday is election of a king. I don't have any belief with in Nigeria. I'm one person that has zero belief in Nigeria. Even with the election of a king that just finished, is this an election? It isn't an election, it's a selection.
It was actually a war. To me, that's not even an election or selection. It was actually a war. People actually fought war.
Exactly. And as much as I never believed the election, and when people ask me my take or my thoughts about the election, I said, if I'm back home, I'm not voting. That is one. For me, it's waste of time going anywhere that you're going to cast any vote, because definitely your vote is not going to count. And thanks to you, you kept doing justice, just like all that you said played out. And one will say, oh, Nnamdi Kanu said it. Maiyegun also said it. Maiyegun was telling the time and what the expectation was going to be. And my people did not shame any of us. They play out the card just like you said it. And the following day morning, while I was watching the TV, I'm sure any person can find it on YouTube. The following the morning. And I bought into one foreign news like that.
Right.
And the news, the first news word was Nigeria has chosen a drug addict as the president. I said, hell no!
This is the reality now.
This is not Nigeria's choice. This is not what they choose.
That's not what they choose.
And yes, it's Nigerian reality. It's the reality of today. I never expected anything less from them, but I was thinking they will shame themselves. But at the same time, it is very obvious that we allow foreigners, like the foreign lands, because they are actually the ones ruling us.
Yes.
And when somebody tells me we have
whether you like it or not, you must accept it. Like who said that to their citizens? Like, whether you like it or not, that's it.
Thank you.
Like, who said that?
You know, that is my problem. That is my problem. Who is a foreign person that has to come to my country to tell me what happened, what should happen, what should be happening, and we are seated accepting it? When I cannot go to your country and say Lagbaja and you take Lagbaja from me. Somebody telling me that China has police station in Nigeria. It's like, can Nigeria have a shop, like a small mushroom shop called security post in China? And you say you're a giant of Africa, and you say you have wisdom, and you say you are educated. There are so many things that runs around my head when it comes to Nigeria issues. Not just Nigeria, Africa as a whole. And I also bumped into another journalist, a foreign journalist, that went about saying Africa is a burial ground where all the citizens and the so-called rich men goes abroad for medication. They have homes in abroad. They go shopping abroad, but when they die, they take them back to Africa. Oh my goodness! No, that hits me.
There are so many it was like that when you listen to them, they hit differently. That you just sit down there, just perplexed. Like, man, that's so true.
Yeah, at the end of the day, these so-called foreigners, they pick who they want, who they can manipulate. Because come to think of it, all truth be said, Buhari never won election.
No.
Buhari was singularly picked and put there to run errands for them, and he has executed what they want him to do. That is, if it is really Buhari. And now they want Tinubu to continue where he shot. That is, it's already going to happen.
Chichi.
It's already going to happen.
Thank you so much, ma. See, it is sometimes people think that we just talk and the talking doesn't make any much difference. But I disagree with a lot of people, because while we are having all these chats over the years, we can see the improvement in how people are now more kind of aware of a lot of things going on around them. Yeah, you may say they haven't really figured it out of uniting to face and do this, right? But they are more aware now. They are more self-aware. Now, people who are choosing to follow the criminals, they are doing so knowing why they are doing it. Not because they know they have no idea of who they are.
What they're going to get out of it.
So with time,
because of what they're going to get.
Yeah, it's because of what they're going to get out of it. So with time, the people that we know better will soon surpass those who are using their ignorance to hold everybody down. So I think we will continue speaking out, and people will continue to know better until this establishment meet its match. Chichi.
I feel they all wake up faster than they have woken up. I'm happy one thing is for sure they are up, but I wish for more, because action needs to be swinged into this whole thing. It's bullshit.
Let me ask you something, Chichi, before you leave, right? This is a direct one, just so direct and straightforward, right? Okay. You have been following the events, right? And you are somebody who is not pro-election, okay? And somehow, you witnessed what happened. Now, with all the events that we have witnessed so far, are you personally impressed with how much dent disobedience, right, caused the establishment, as visible as it is? Like, in your way, are you in any way impressed, or is just waste, like others said?
Hello, can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you. Did you hear me?
Hello. Yeah, I appreciate what the obedience have done for one. As much as I'm not pre-election kind of a person, I appreciate what they are doing, and I encourage more of it.
I like that. Chichi, thank you so much, dear sister. I hope I won't always get you fenced out when a lot of people are just there redialing and redialing. It's such a pleasure hearing your voice
okay,
again.
yes, let me give them time. Yeah, thank you so much.
You should have a good job, my brother. Thank you. Bye-bye.
And you see,
that's Chichi. Here, did I take another call? Hello there. No, I missed that. So I have another caller. Hello, sir.
Yeah, Maiyegun, how are you?
I am very well. How are you, sir?
Nice to speak to you this evening.
It's so nice to hear from you too. Thank you.
All right. There are a couple of issues we're going to deal with this evening.
Take your time.
Right. You know what happened?
Yes.
Nigeria is a joke. Me and you, we know Nigeria is a joke.
It's
going to remain a joke for a long time. This is a country where a criminal will steal. When he steals, he will come to your face. And people will be surrounding him, praising him for being a thief, an old man. In fact, if I'm a Yoruba man, I would prefer to associate myself with anything that has to do with Tinubu. A criminal at that age.
You know, one of the surprises, that some people said actually shocked them. That Nigerians are seen as people who claim to be religious. Like if you get closer, they will tell you, Antonio alone, because of God. No. I say, you know that stuff, right? That is so shocking that the people that claim to be religious,
in fact,
Islamic,
you know,
they are defending the drug dealer. Go on.
Even the worst part of it, when he came back, yesterday or the day before yesterday, he came back 2 days ago, and he was looking at people, and you can see this guy don't blink. You are a rotten human being. Somebody at this age, you don't have the right date of birth, you don't have certificate, everything that has to do with evil is with you, and you come in. And even people are telling him, somebody from the behind, telling Tinubu what to say. He can't even articulate. He has no idea what to say. You know what is happening. We know what is going on. The only reason this Buhari, because all these things is a Fulani plan. And Tinubu and them, like with them, Tinubu is an easy tool. And the only reason the Fulani are Buhari have shown you a sign today. Yeah? You don't know what this is how Nigerians work. He has shown you a sign today. He started to round them up. He went to have a military parade.
Yeah.
It was and what he's doing now is alerting them all the whole because they control the security.
They do.
The Fulanis, they control the army, they control the navy, they control the police. It's alerting them, get ready for 29 before that. If there's anything, we're going to unleash you guys on the street to go and kill the evils. That is an alertment. It's an alertment. It's preparing
like a
them.
Dog whistle. And so you are
preparing them.
See this.
It's a parade. It's giving them, preparing them for the action. It's preparing them for the action. That's what he's doing. Get ready. There's something coming up. Very soon, you, Lieutenant Colonel Hassan, Lieutenant Colonel Mahmoud, Lieutenant Colonel this, get your battalion ready. Your battalion will be on the street very soon. Because this is the opportunity. He's going to talk to the Chief of Army Staff. He's going to talk to Chief of General Adjutant. Get your boys ready. We don't know what is going to happen. Because they know these people are criminals. Yeah. On the case of Nnamdi Kanu,
yes, sir.
Nnamdi Kanu, we know that this guy is just there for nothing. But the problem is not even only in Nnamdi Kanu. The worst part is from elite criminal Igbo men. Some of these criminal Igbo men. Criminals that I don't know where they come from. Where who's gone? Somebody like all these Igbo men, all the Kaludem, all of them. Yeah? Man, the worst thing that will happen to you, that you as a man, what is a crime? Hausas have ruled Fulani have ruled. Yoruba has ruled. What is the crime for an Igbo man to be a president? Can anybody tell me?
It's absolute none.
I just want to know somebody to give me a reason why you can. Okay, I'm not playing. We're not playing politics of Yoruba, Igbo, Hausa. But the main thing is that sometimes you have to be very honest, and the honesty will set you free. Because we know the only reason that this thing is happening is because Obi is an Igbo man, and there are some people from the northern region that will not stomach it. And had it been, trust me, had it been by any slightest mistake that Atiku was able to come to that position of Obi and win this election, they will not reach it. They will find all these emirs, all these Fulanis.
They would never want
find
to
a way. They will find a way to discuss it as okay, let's leave it, let it go. Look at what happened in Adamawa State. What happened in Adamawa State will show you what is going on in Nigeria. Trust me, if this is another state like in Imo State or in Imo State or Enugu State or all those southeastern states, like Igbo land, yeah, and that election, they overturn it. I'm telling you, there will be massacre. They will unleash police and army and mobile police and.
Because it will just be like the reason why they have been. This is the reason why, or let me say, the reason they have been looking for. So why not? They would want to take it. I believe you, Baba. Who would dare that?
I'm telling you, they will release them to slaughter them. So this is, trust me, what will happen? The worst thing that will happen to Nigeria today is for Tinubu. Look, in fact, when you look at them in the first photograph, you know that this is a bunch of criminals that absolutely want to ruin Nigeria. They want to ruin Nigeria. And the worst thing that will happen
Nigeria. See,
if Tinubu would be there. But what they don't understand, they don't know. They are playing with fire. Trust me, there is a way, and I call the whole obedience. There's a bit of mistake, but that mistake can be ratified. First of all, we shouldn't have allowed that governorship election to go on. That was a big mistake.
Right.
But however, any mistake the judicial is going to make, trust me, there's always going to be consequences of action. And this, if you're an Igbo man and somebody tell you that you completely in front of you, stolen what belongs to you, and you're there and you're laughing for one Nigeria, in fact, you better die than to live as a man. Because you have been raped. You have been degraded. You don't want anything before Nigerians.
And in truth, see, let me take another one too, because of our time, like we said, right? Everybody knows what is right. And if anybody is
we know. I'm so upset that that is proper. All these things. Even if you look at the vice president, please, one point. Can you see the vice president of Tinubu?
Shitty man.
The way he's smoking, smiling, the arrogance in his face.
I know.
If you look at his face, that's the so-called shitty man. The arrogance in his face. Man, like he's. If you look at me, I am the godfather of Nigeria. What the hell you guys can do? If you look at his face, please look at that picture again. The arrogance in his face. Man, you just proper look at me. I am the godfather of Nigeria. What the hell can you guys do?
Baba, let me take another one, okay? To maintain that time. Thank you so much, okay, for stopping by and for dropping that. Thank you. I have another caller on the line, and I think hello there.
Hello, Maiyegun Baba.
Ahmed, how are you, Baba?
I greet you. Kwanadu.
Sonu da Aiki. Ya de.
Yawa. Sonu lafia. Lafia.
Lafia cool.
Yeah.
Okay. It's good to see you back, Ahmed. Now you are going to be part of this tonight as well, right? Go on.
Yeah. So I just want to talk about the video that you popped up where those students were complaining.
Right, the Sudanese evacuation wahala, please.
Yeah. Because if you look at it, right now in the northern part of Nigeria, most of the children where they go to school. Mm-hmm. Now, those ones will be say their papa themselves, they take that steal money one way or the other. Maybe all those chairman picking, the ones where their papa do chairman before, right. Or where they hold commissioner, that kind of thing.
Right.
So the money where they steal, they go use and send them go
in the ministry, agency, and all that.
Yes. So they send their children go there abroad. Most of the people we will see where they there in northerners. Make anybody not tell you anything.
Yeah,
95% northerners. Me, I know people who see them be that place. They'll be say go come. So you see Sudan, Egypt, all those
Morocco,
Qatar, all those
Morocco. I know.
They know they go Europe.
No.
They know if you see them for Europe, probably 20% or 10%. Multi-book 10%.
10%.
And then they go Europe. So you see all these things really happen now. Karma, don't they catch up with them? They still no go understand. They still never see them. They go still feel say, waiting. Born to rule. You are born to rule. So our ruling no, we will not let him JE. That's the part of the ruling. You are born to rule and you're already facing the consequences of born to rule. Because your own parents, they are also part of the rotten system that you guys are facing right now.
Yes.
The hardship they are facing right now, their parents contributed to it. So me, I don't get sympathy for them all. I know
you don't mean that because anybody will know you well will not say you don't mean that. But Baba, I follow you.
I mean, these same people.
It's annoying, isn't it?
She know the phone in their hand. Now these same people go there that side where they go talk say all this in Yamuri. In Yamarene in Iskani, Muma Bawajim Keba, or Yerbane and Iskani, all those kind of rubbish. Maiyegun, I tell you, we know me, I don't see what I don't see for these people. So anything I go talk, Muso, Muson. Well, New Polo, Pele to law school, Pele to law school, Bon, or Polo Canal, they are using the same brain, they don't have sense, they think the same way. And they think like religion ye and she not the same we know sabi. We from
Ahmed,
south, we know sabi.
Ahmed, one of the questions I have always been willing to ask. You lived in the northern Nigeria, you grew up there, you know them very well. Kaduna to be precise, and possibly all the environs as well, right, Baba? She is around to defend somebody who is dealing on drugs or thieves. Or all those negative. I did not really around. Like I know northerners who are really, really corrupt too. Sure, you get that. We know them like generally. But what is the contenance of people generally in northern Nigeria that you grew up in? Like when it comes to when they see people who are dealing on drugs, for example, right? I'm talking about from the perspective of the people. Yes, Ahmed.
Yeah.
Tell us, because I keep wondering.
Maiyegun, there's something there's this debate I have had with most of these my northern friends and brothers, right?
Right.
I told them, I said, look, let me tell you, you claim to know religion, but you know what is haram and you know what is halal. Now, the same people that you people keep defending, you will go out and go campaign for, you go out and go and vote for. The same people are the ones that are putting you in hardship. They will steal your money. They will do anyhow with your money.
That's right.
And you cannot say nothing. And after, if someone out there, maybe another language, is doing something that has to do with religion or whatever, you guys would be like, haram in me. You know haram when it comes to other people. But your people that are stealing every day, you don't see any haram, you feel like, and you keep praying. You give them front row in the mosque to come and pray. People like Atiku and the rest, they sit in the front row. They donate money to your sheikh. You didn't see that all those things they are eating around. Why is that hypocrisy? Why is it there? I told them, I said, look, let me tell you, before those Christians that you see that you call them army, you call them unbelievers, you call them infidels. Before they go into the hellfire that you keep talking about, you people will be the first people in line to go to hellfire because you know what is haram, but you stepped on it, you cover it because of the hypocrisy. You cannot talk about it, but you're saying other people that don't understand your religion as a Muslim.
Ordinarily, right? I'm not religious, and I respect people who actually values their faith, their faith and their religion. Okay, but when I see hypocrites, I don't respect them. Sure, you get, because hypocrites are those who always take offense every now and then, and you think they are actually like they are righteous. They are not. All right. So normally, go on. Sorry.
Yeah, I'm listening.
I actually wanted to say that normally we expect that anything cheating. Haram, it should be haram. Rigging election should be haram. No Muslim, right? No Muslim should be proud to support anybody they know rigged an election. We are not stupid. Nobody should give an excuse, right? No Christian should defend riggers. Like I'm saying, right? But in Nigeria, they are there defending them.
Yeah.
On the other hand, they are always shouting God, Allah, here and there. So she rigging election is not haram, ni Ahmed.
Maiyegun, Iwa Pala Pala, if you are looking for Iwa Pala Pala,
right,
like rubbish, misbehaving, bad attitude, like every bad thing that you know, or what people you know, but I want my people, they know they see their own fault. Now other people things that they see, they know they see where they go wrong.
Like rigging election during Ramadan, Baba.
Yes.
Rigging election during Ramadan. A Muslim should ordinarily feel like that's haram.
What you open normal.
It's normal.
Gbogbo ìwé tó ń kà pé gbogbo ìwé tó ń kà tó ń sọ pé tó máa ka hadith, tó máa ka Quran, tó máa ka gbogbo. They don't follow it because if they follow it, I've told them several times, if you people who are following the teachings of the Quran, the teaching of the Hadith. You see all these leaders, Etima Sokopa Gugunyo, and when it talks around the family, Etima Sokopa, hardship them face and the problem, but you don't understand that they are your problem. The people around you, your uncle, your auntie, even your father and mother, because this election, they was telling me about it because I didn't really have time to be online. So, but one of those times, most of the time you come online, if you call a video that you already did, I'm not, I don't have the time to come online.
Chance of watching live
live. So we talk on phone, I'll be like, most of these people, gbogbo same nǹkan and sọ̀rọ̀ nípa ẹ̀, wọ́n tẹ̀lé wọn wọlé tọ́lọ́ fún wọn ní ìwé ọṣẹ. All those rubbish printed, go and vote for this people. I talked about it, I said, all those things on the collect. Now, haram. Because those things, you didn't work for it. You are collecting it. Why are they giving you? It is part of the money they stole from you. They bought it, and those money are stolen money. And what happens to someone who takes it, who collects a share from a stolen money? It's eating around. So you guys are eating around, you don't know. Or you know, but you just pretend like you don't know. So they are bigotry, they are extremism, you don't reach them. You go kill them. Maiyegun, as I continue to see, as we continue to see, we will continue to project and debate them. We will watch, we will see.
It is almost close now. It's almost
very
now.
close.
Very close.
They think we are talking, we just keep talking, blabbing, rubbish, we are just saying rubbish. Okay, no wahala. You don't read, everybody will collect. You don't read time. Body will pain them, they will know. No wahala,
Nobody go tell you, say, where Nigeria come from. Nobody go tell everybody. It's so lovely to hear from you. I hope you
enjoy.
Mandala.
But Tinubu,
thank you so much. Have a nice one, okay? So I'm gonna take before we go tonight. Hello there. Oh, I lost that person. Normally I should take another one, but that is a sign that we should call it a night. Okay. I know we still have about 20 minutes to our normal full 3 hours. But I'm taking a break early tonight. Okay. I will see and be with you again tomorrow. So if you watch this from the start, great. Check if you actually like the broadcast before you go. Okay. And if you joined us midway in the middle, brilliant. I am going to advise you to probably watch it from the start. So whenever you want to watch a replay of MaiyegunsDiary Politico and you don't like all that music, Maiyegun don't come. It's wasting your data or wasting your time. You can skip them, move them forward, okay, and listen to the part where Maiyegun is talking or the phone call part. So thank you so much for spending your evening with me again. Our lady, Mommy Adeola from Dublin, the first caller that I mistook for my regular friend Adeola from London. So until when she was like, oh, it's Mama Adeola from Dublin. I was like, oh, I'm so sorry, ma. So to everybody who participated in this conversation tonight, my super chatters, the sharers, the likers, and all of you, thank you. I will see you again. And that's going to be when I see you. You should all have a good night from here.
Maiyegun làwa mọ̀ làmọ̀ dódódódó.
Maiyegun Diary, Maiyegun number one.
Maiyegun làwa mọ̀ làmọ̀ dódódódó.
Maiyegun Diary, Maiyegun number one.
Maiyegun ti dé o, ọ̀rẹ́ ará ìlú.
Maiyegun Diary, Maiyegun number one.
Lórí Facebook, lórí YouTube.
Maiyegun Diary, Maiyegun number one.
Gbogbo bó ṣe ń lọ ni Maiyegun já wa sí.
Maiyegun Diary, Maiyegun number one.
Àṣírí ọ̀jẹ̀lú kì í bò níbẹ̀ o.
Maiyegun Diary, Maiyegun number one.
Bó bá ṣe eré, àní Maiyegun máa wí.
Maiyegun Diary, Maiyegun number one.
Ó sì tún ṣe eré, wàá gbọ́ níbẹ̀ o.
Maiyegun Diary, Maiyegun number one.
Maiyegun Diary, Diary Politico.
Maiyegun Diary, Maiyegun number one.
Godfatherism kò sí lọ́rọ̀ Maiyegun.
Maiyegun Diary, Maiyegun number one.
Ẹ farabalẹ̀ sẹ́ o kẹgọ́rọ̀ lẹ́nu o.
Maiyegun Diary, Maiyegun number one.
Àní Maiyegun làwa mọ̀ dódódódó.
Maiyegun Diary, Maiyegun number one.
Àní ẹ̀sùn ràkì.
Maiyegun ti dé.
Maiyegun ti dé. Ọ̀jẹ̀lú ẹ̀sùn ràkì.
Maiyegun ti dé.
Àní ẹ̀sùn ràkì.
Maiyegun ti dé.
Lórí Facebook.
Maiyegun ti dé.
Àní ẹ̀sùn ràkì.
Maiyegun ti dé.
Lórí YouTube.
Maiyegun ti dé.
Àní ẹ̀sùn ràkì.
Maiyegun ti dé.
Bọ́ bàbá gbé wúrẹ́.
Maiyegun máa wí.
Àní ẹ̀sùn ràkì.
Maiyegun ti dé.
Ijó ìgbádìyẹ.
Maiyegun máa wí.
Àní ẹ̀sùn ràkì.
Maiyegun ti dé.
pẹ̀sìdó bá rúfin o.
Maiyegun mami.
Àní ẹ̀sùn ra jù.
Maiyegun ti dé.
Kí gómìnà kówó jẹ.
Maiyegun mami.
Àní ẹ̀sùn ra jù.
Maiyegun ti dé.
Ọlọ́pàá tí ń darí bá.
Maiyegun mami.
Àní ẹ̀sùn ra jù.
Maiyegun ti dé.
Aṣòfin tí ń rúfin o.
Maiyegun mami.
Àní ẹ̀sùn ra jù.
Maiyegun ti dé.
Òkúrọ̀ olóṣèlú.
Maiyegun mami.
Àní ẹ̀sùn ra jù.
Maiyegun ti dé.
Ọ̀jẹ̀lú ẹ̀sùn ra kì.
Maiyegun ti dé.
Àní ẹ̀sùn ra kì.
Maiyegun ti dé.
Maiyegun ti dé. Gbogbo ọ̀jẹ̀lú ẹ̀sùn ra kì. Maiyegun ti dé. Gbogbo ọ̀jẹ̀lú ẹ̀sùn ra kì. Ṣùgbọ́n ní bá ti ṣe èyí tó yẹ kí wọ́n ṣe, ọmọ bá dèrò ní fi wọ́n níran o.
Maiyegun ti dé. Gbogbo ọ̀jẹ̀lú ẹ̀sùn ra kì. Maiyegun ti dé. Gbogbo ọ̀jẹ̀lú ẹ̀sùn ra kì. Ṣùgbọ́n ní bá ti ṣe èyí tó yẹ kí wọ́n ṣe, ọmọ bá dèrò ní fi wọ́n níran.
Wọ́n fowó bẹ́ẹ̀ o. Maiyegun ó sọ pé wọ́n ò bẹ́ẹ̀. Wọ́n fowó bẹ́ẹ̀. Maiyegun ó sọ pé wọ́n ò bẹ́ẹ̀. Oníkan ṣáàtì ṣe èyí tó yẹ kí wọ́n ṣe fáwọn ará ìlú tó gbé wọn débẹ̀ o.
Maiyegun ti dé. Gbogbo ọ̀jẹ̀lú ẹ̀sùn ra kì. Maiyegun ti dé. Gbogbo ọ̀jẹ̀lú ẹ̀sùn ra kì. Ṣùgbọ́n ní má ti ṣe yìí tó yẹ kí wọ́n ṣe, ọmọ bá dẹ́rọ̀ ò ní fi wọ́n níran.
Kì máa yí ṣe eré, ọ̀rọ̀ yìí kì í ṣe ẹ̀fẹ̀. Kì máa yí ṣe eré, ọ̀rọ̀ yìí kì í ṣe ẹ̀fẹ̀. Ẹni bá ti lè lẹ́bọ̀ lẹ́rù o, ọmọ bá dèrò kàṣàyè tú wọn síta.
Maiyegun ti dé. Gbogbo ọ̀jẹ̀lú ẹ̀sùn ra kì. Maiyegun ti dé. Gbogbo ọ̀jẹ̀lú ẹ̀sùn ra kì. Ṣùgbọ́n ní bá ti ṣe yìí tó yẹ kí wọ́n ṣe, ọmọ bá dẹ́rọ̀ ò ní fi wọ́n níran.
Tẹnitẹni ọmọ Maiyegun ọ̀rẹ́ ara ìlú mọ̀mọ́ ni mo fọlọ́hún ṣọ́ ẹ̀ bá kìlẹ́bù. Lóòótọ́ olódodo ìlú ọ̀tá ìlú mọ̀mọ́ ni ìwọ ṣá máa ń ṣọ́ra kò sì mọ́ bẹ̀rù. Bọ́tà ń lè rí bóníṣègùn lé káwọn mọ̀mọ́ fi ṣera wọn ni ó ti dẹrùn tí wọn ò gbọ́dọ̀ sì mọ́ bẹ̀. Èèpo ọ̀bọ lọmọ bá dérò tàjẹ́ ò gbọ́dọ̀ jẹ́, ó ti dọba lórí abínú ẹni kò sì mọ́ bùyà. Àìsíwọ́lu ní ẹnìkẹ́ ìgbódì ẹyin lábàrá o, ó kó ẹni tó bá dán wò á kàmù. Maiyegun ti dé. Gbogbo ọ̀jẹ̀lú ẹ̀sùn ra kì. Maiyegun ti dé. Gbogbo ọ̀jẹ̀lú ẹ̀sùn ra kì o. Ẹni bá ti ṣe yìí tó yẹ kí wọ́n ṣe, ọmọ bá dèrò òní fi wọ́n níran o.
Maiyegun ti dé. Gbogbo ọ̀jẹ̀lú ẹ̀sùn ra kì. Maiyegun ti dé. Gbogbo ọ̀jẹ̀lú ẹ̀sùn ra kì. Ṣùgbọ́n ní bá ti ṣe yìí tó yẹ kí wọ́n ṣe, ọmọ bá dẹ́rọ̀ ò ní fi wọ́n níran.